Hello there guys, it's Aaron here from Push Square, and let me ask you a question. Have you ever dreamed of playing your favourite PlayStation games on a 200-inch screen? Well, it's a weirdly specific dream, I'll give you that, but it's totally possible now thanks to the XGIMI Horizon Ultra. Now this thing here is the world's first long-throw 4K projector with Dolby Vision support, which is a bit of a kick when you're down for PlayStation players because we still don't have Dolby Vision support, but you know, maybe one day. But this thing here is the high end of high end. It's coming in at $1,700 or £1,749 here in the UK, so yes, that's a big expense, but it fights for every single penny with some of the top of the line features that it has packed into this really small form factor. Now I've been testing this thing out over the last couple of weeks. I have been having an absolute blast with it, but last night I had a good old big PlayStation session playing some of my favourite games, and with that I'm going to play through my whole setup, my whole night playing these games, and run you through with some commentary on the features you can expect, the setup process, and ultimately whether this thing's worth the price tag. So let's get into it. So the setup in this thing was actually super easy. Coming in a slick looking box, the XGIMI Horizon Ultra is really just the projector, the power cable and the controller, which is very nice looking by the way. Now I've been using this old Wii Fit board just to elevate it and keep it stable because you can plonk this thing down anywhere, plug it in and you're ready to go. The power brick is pretty hefty, but there's a decent length on the cable itself to play around with. Now this is actually a smart projector, so immediately you can connect to Wi-Fi and have streaming apps like Disney Plus and Apple TV up and running. Plug your PS5 into one of the two HDMI ports, switch the input, and there you go. You have a massive screen to play your PS5 games on. This thing is surprisingly decent in lighter conditions, but obviously to get the most out of it, you want to close the blinds and turn the lights off. When you eventually turn it on, it has this awesome sliding mechanism revealing the projector lens. One of my favourite features of the Horizon Ultra is the ability to auto-correct the screen. So if you adjust it, even if you have it facing the wall at an angle, it will align so it appears flat. Super handy, saves you messing around with angles. At this point you're ready to go and you'll immediately be struck by just how nice the image looks. Colours pop, the image is crisp, and then you'll be introduced to the Harman Kardon speakers, which are so much better than they have any right to be. Playing games like Miles Morales captured all of that audio detail of a bustling city, and my god, just look at this thing in action. I have to say the image is never going to appear quite as nice in video as it does in person, so if you're already impressed, you'll be more so if you pick this thing up. Getting up close and personal with the picture reveals an impeccable level of detail, and this is across a roughly 200-inch projection. I think Miles Morales is a great one to start out on as it gives you a great sense of the picture quality, but also that low latency for gaming. Now to test this even further, I booted up Battlefield 2042, which I have to say I was incredibly impressed with. Response time dictates how quickly the inputs on your controller are represented in game. PC monitors and the like strive for a response time of anywhere between 1 and 5 milliseconds, and TVs are typically somewhere between 10 and 20 milliseconds. The XGIMI Horizon Ultra is said to be around 18 milliseconds, but I genuinely think it felt a bit faster than that. Now obviously you aren't getting those super fast speeds for competitive gaming, but if you already play on a TV then you're likely not to feel much of a difference here. I didn't feel like I was at a massive disadvantage, and that's coming from someone that plays on a TV with 1 millisecond response time. But of course, what you're looking for here are those cinematic games, of which PlayStation has plenty. I checked out The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, which I think would be enough to sell anyone in this thing. Even just loading into the menu gave me chills. If you wanted to have some cozy nights in the house playing some immersive single player games, then Horizon Ultra is your boy. I mean, just look at that detail, up close and personal. This was the game for me that really sold the projector experience, and I think going forward, it's going to be how I play those single player games. Just to briefly reference the speakers again, I thought it handled the quieter sounds of The Last of Us really well. Onto something a bit more bombastic, God of War Ragnarok sounded phenomenal and was another showcase of that colour accuracy, going from the warmth of a fire to the cool blues dominating my living room. The speaker, and I know I keep going on about this, can get super loud, which is perfect for that sound design in Bear McCready's epic score.
Lastly, I thought I'd introduce a pop of colour with No Man's Sky, and as you can see, the colourful art style like this is just made for this projector. It's really atmospheric and goes to show the power of Horizon Ultra's dual light projector, which uses a mixture of laser and LED technology to supply a bright and colour accurate experience. For those that are wanting to try out during the day, it can bring 2300 ISO lumens to the table, meaning that it isn't quite the write-off during those sunlight hours that you would expect. And some final housekeeping, if you're wondering about the size, this does have lossless zoom and it can support anywhere between a 40-inch projection and up to 200. It does get a little warm at times, but it doesn't make much of any noise at all. You really have to go right up before you hear anything from the fans. And to briefly talk on that design, it's super slick. I didn't mind just having it sitting around the house, and I think if we were to have a more permanent setup, say on a ceiling rack, it wouldn't look too out of place. I think it looks really, really nice, and the portability of it makes it a really viable option for you to take it out to friends' houses or to an event of some kind, because it's just plug and play. It's really that simple.
So there you have it. That is everything you need to know about the XGIMI Horizon Ultra. It's a device I have wholeheartedly fallen in love with. I do not want to let this thing go. It runs really well, the picture is crisp, the immersiveness of playing these games with the low latency mode, which generally I don't think is really that bad. Yeah, this thing is a keeper. I love how portable it is. I love that it can be an 80-inch screen on my office wall behind me here, but it can also be a 200-inch screen on my living room wall. Really, I have loved about every second that I've used it. From the moment I booted it up, I was sold, and this comes from someone that is I'm an OLED believer. I love my OLED TVs, and when I was sent a projector, I thought, yeah, it'll be cool to check out, but will it be great? Will it be something I'll actually want to use over an OLED TV? And yes, yes it is at times. So thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some information out of it. And if you did enjoy the video, consider leaving a like. That really helps us out. And even better, subscribing to the channel for more PlayStation video content and weird alternative content like this right here on Push Square. So thank you as always for watching. And until next time, I've been Aaron and this has been Push Square.